Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is a RAGIN Geek Speak, and I have a special guest this evening. She's from Full Moon Features. She does comedy. She does all kinds of stuff. I've got Libbie Higgins here, and we will introduce her as soon as we get back from this intro. You're tuning in to Geek Speak, a Geek Insider production. We're sitting with special guests in entertainment, news, and tech. So sit back and enjoy as we geek out together right now. That's right, everybody. Wherever it is that you're tuning in from, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. We are simulcasting to Geek Insider, Indie Volt, and RAGIN AVC. Let me drop the card here and say hello, Libbie.
Hello.
Welcome to Geek Insider. You are a comedian, an actress, and somehow you got scooped up into the Full Moon world, let's say. The universe that is Full Moon Features. Yeah, at Geek Insider, we love to get inside the geek, right? And I love the creative journey. Where did you cut your teeth as far as being on stage or in front of the small or big screen?
Well, let me just say this. In my universe right now, there's someone outside with a very loud car radio. So just know that that's out of my control. But I've always wanted to do acting, comedy stuff ever since I can remember. And I was too scared. In high school, I was too scared. I did behind the scenes stuff, props, makeup, but would not get on the stage. I couldn't do it. So then live broadcasting came around and I was like, well, I can do this because there's no audience to see me. And sort of did comedy shows online, testing out characters and stuff. And then eventually went into doing do you remember Vine? Vine and online videos and skits.
Yeah, now it's TikTok,
which I'm
Snapchat
also on. So once I got brave enough to do stuff online, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do stuff in real life. And that's when I started doing comedy on stage. That was about 7 years ago. At the age of 40, I decided to do all this. Then I took improv classes here in St. Louis because I was like, I need help. Because even to this day, I have terrible stage fright. But every single time I go on stage, I have nearly a panic attack.
Oh my gosh.
So as far as acting, well, you want me to tell you how I get hooked up with William Butler?
Mr. William Butler. Yeah, we had the pleasure of having him in a seat with Michael Paré, and it was wild.
He's hilarious and wonderful. And the first time I met him in real life, I was like, this is my twin brother. We look like twins. Look at us. I'm Billy Butler's twin. So he found me because I had a viral video about a McRib, and he loved my character named Carla. And he contacted me and said, I have a little tiny part in a movie, and I want Carla to be in it. And this was a movie called Ouija's. Another Full Moon production. And I didn't believe it. I'm sorry. I have a hair on my face. I didn't believe it. I was like, this isn't real. I'm not really going to be in a movie. And they flew me to Las Vegas, and it happened.
Wow. That's good. That's the craziest thing.
And he kept saying, I'm not a crazy person. He was writing it. I'm not a crazy person. Here's my IMDb. I'm real.
Right. But usually the people who say I'm not, they generally are.
The ones that say I'm not a stalker usually end up being the stalkers.
Right.
100% of the time.
So from a viral video, you caught William Butler's attention, and they flew you out there. That was your first experience then on being at a movie set?
Yes, that was my very first experience. I did some filming with some friends here in St. Louis, but never a real movie set where there were so many moving parts that I couldn't even wrap my head around any of it.
Right. Yeah. I call that like guerrilla filmmaking. You know, everybody's on their cell phones, like trying to get this shot because they don't have any licenses or permits.
Right. Right. Yeah, it was. And then when I arrived on set and saw everything, I was like, okay, this is actually going to happen. This is happening.
Mhm. Yeah. The communication must have been like wild because I'm sure you did a Google search and things like that. And who is this guy? And like, yeah, right. Yeah,
Exactly.
right. He's calling me.
Exactly. But also, a lot of people did contact me when I went viral. So I always, anytime anyone contacts me, I'm like, is this a real thing or somebody trying to trick me?
Mm-hmm.
To this day.
Well, with as active as you are on social media, you know, you said Vine before, TikTok, YouTube. You have a really hopping YouTube channel. Uh, how do you kind of curate your experience when you've got all of these things coming at you, all these people coming out of the woodwork?
I always trust my gut when people offer me stuff because my gut generally is very anxious and won't lie to me. But yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things is just to trust how I feel when the offer comes in. And it's not like there's tons of stuff rolling in, but yeah, it's I've never been disappointed in turning something down because I was like, it just didn't feel right at the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, with Baby Oopsie, I saw something in the press release that said chapter 1, which suggests that there are more chapters to come.
Originally, I anticipated that this would be a movie, and it is actually an anthology. So there are two parts already, which like Twilight Zone, you know how they have episodes. As far as more episodes, I don't know. It depends on if people watch these first two. I would love to do more. I would love to get back in the wig. The wig was everything. But yeah, I don't know. They're not telling me anything. No spoilers for me.
No spoilers from you because you can't squeeze it out of you. Okay, so what is it about the wig? Because I've been kind of trolling your accounts and stuff like that, and I see you in wigs all the time. What's the story behind that?
Wigs for me inform a character. So I can get a wig, and as soon as I put it on, I'm like, okay, this lady loves bingo. She smokes cigarettes. She has 4 kids.
Oh, you have a whole backstory for her.
I mean, just the wig just brings it to life. And Billy and I worked together on that wig, Sybil Pittman's wig in Baby Oopsie, and we wanted her to look sort of childlike but not ridiculous. We didn't want it to distract from the character, but we wanted to make it look sort of childlike and innocent. And I had that same exact haircut as a child for many years, that bowl cut where they just, I don't know why they did that to us all when we were kids. Just cut a bowl.
Right. Did you use Scotch tape too?
No, I just remember my grandmother taking sewing scissors and just cutting.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, as soon as I put Sybil's wig on, I was like, okay, I'm feeling this poor woman. This poor, sad woman.
So, okay, so developing the character, do you feel like it was all in the script? Were you able to improv at all? Did you kind of stay true to it? Or was it all kind of in the script? Like, okay, I just have to basically take on Sybil and just go with it.
It was the script, but also Billy's directing really helped me tremendously. Because I didn't know this about filming, and I don't know why I didn't know this, but they don't film it in order. So you could be filming on the first day a very climatic scene that's in the end of the thing. And so he was very helpful in telling me, hey, this baby has done this, this, and this to you, and you are fed up.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you should feel. Or he didn't tell me how I should feel, but he just said, like, this is what happened. You're at your wits' end. And then from there, I would do what I thought Sybil would do. And I didn't do a lot of improvising. I improvise a lot with comedy, but for this, I wanted to, because Billy is a no, what's the word? He doesn't want to mess around when we're filming, especially when you're filming 67 pages of script in 6 days. We had to get this done. So there's
Mm-hmm.
no monkey business.
I was going to ask you about that because we've had quite a few full moon features interviews, and they're all like, we have this crazy deadline. We must be insane. What was it like to work under that kind of time constraint for you? Because obviously you weren't special. You didn't have, maybe you had 6 to 10 days. You didn't have like months.
Yeah, it was very intense, and it took me about a week to recover. It was physically, emotionally, and mentally challenging and also draining.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I keep saying I would do it over in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And honestly, going at that pace in that short of a time, it flew by so quickly. I think it's how people say pregnancy is, like, you forget how hard it is.
Yes.
I don't have children, but I forgot almost how difficult it was to be on set.
Until the next phone call, and then your body's like, oh no, why?
Very intense.
Uh-huh.
And I did some of my own stunts.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you that because I've only seen the trailer, so you can kind of see this progression of your character Sybil, going from like really meek and mild and shy and just really closed out to like wielding this bat, like, come on, yeah, bastard, I'm gonna come and get you. Like that must have been fun. But being out of order, did that throw you off?
It did. Now, the scene with the bat, that was one of the last nights, so that was good because I completely lost my voice that night from screaming. But yeah, I gave it my all that first take. I was hitting the walls, kicking in doors, and then cut. And he's like, okay, let's do it one more time. And I was like, what? That was all. But I channeled some anger in me I didn't even know I had.
Wow.
Directed at that little baby.
Uh-huh. Now, so was there did you get some opportunity to do improv at all?
Trying to remember. I mean, I improv'd different reactions. I didn't get to improv dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much, and honestly, Sybil doesn't have a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of like facial acting and body acting, not a lot of dialogue. But no, I don't think I did a lot of improvising.
Mm-hmm. How different was the experience for you being on set as opposed to like being on stage or even in front of a camera doing the vines in your YouTube and things like that?
The big difference for me is when I'm behind the camera doing the performance and I'm not getting an immediate reaction like I do when I'm on stage with comedy. It's dead quiet. And I'm like, am I doing okay? Is my performance okay? And it's because everyone has to be quiet. They can't say like, oh, that's really great. So that
crickets, and you're like, I'm dying up here.
Yes, exactly. And also it was like the first 2 days, I didn't even notice that the crew was there because I was so nervous, so in my head. But then once I started to notice everybody was around, then I sort of got in my head more and got really nervous and tried not to be too in my head. But I was a little bit in my head, to be honest.
What are
You just,
so,
I would
yeah, go
say
ahead.
you just want to do a good job. You don't want to, everybody's working so hard. The crew in Cleveland worked so hard, and you just don't want people to be disappointed or embarrassed about what we're putting out.
Hmm. And as long as you're having fun while you're doing it, I'm sure that there were ups and downs and things always tend to go wrong, but you just kind of power through because, again, the schedule that you have is kind of crazy.
Very
Uh,
intense.
what was it like working with your co-stars then?
Oh, it's, I get how it is now working on a movie set where people just fall in love with everyone. I fell in love with everyone, and I have like this, I miss them all so much. And I was only with them 6 days, but I feel like they're my family. I mean,
Hmm.
everybody was incredible and just gracious, helpful, because I have a medical issue with my legs, so it's kind of hard for me to stand and walk a lot. And everybody just was so understanding and helpful to me, which I really appreciate. But also everybody was talented, and these were mostly local to Ohio, except for Maryland and Justina Armistead, who's the love of my life. And who else wasn't local? Me. They're all just wonderful people, just
Mhm.
amazing.
And when um, when the phone call comes for chapter 2, no, I'm teasing because I have no idea, and you don't either, do you?
Well, no, the what we have now is being split into two.
Oh, okay.
So we already have one and two.
Hmm.
And as far as three, I honestly don't know. I would give you a spoiler. I would love to, but I don't know if there's going to be a three. That's where everybody has to go and watch it,
Hmm.
if
Yeah,
there's
I think
interest.
that's right because the views and everything over at Full Moon Features, and then it's going to be over on Amazon Prime. All of those views, all of the likes, the feedback, just the reviews, that
Mm-hmm.
all helps because that determines whether or not I guess Charlie, will say, yeah, okay, you got to go for chapter 3.
Right.
Yeah, because
Right.
I think William Butler was even saying that for Miskatonic U. He's like, hey, as long as there's interest, we'll keep going. And it was like, okay, let's push this out and see what the um what the feedback is. So, and Full Moon Features is so much fun. You know,
Yes.
how have you have you got to meet any of the other the people like in the Full Moon Features family?
Well, I met Charles, of course, Mr.
Hmm.
Band, and he was on set the first 2 days, which is nerve wracking because he's,
The
the
guy.
leader.
Yeah.
He's the guy,
He's
but
the guy.
he's so cool and nice, and is will compliment you and everything. Let's see. I met Robin O'Rourke. I believe he's the associate producer. I get all these words mixed up.
Hmm.
Um, but that's all I met this time, and I may have met other people and didn't know because my head was spinning.
Right. Yeah. So for anybody who's tuning in, make sure that you get a subscription over to Full Moon Features because this premieres, Baby Oopsie premieres on August 6th. That's this Friday on fullmoonfeatures.com. You can get the subscription. I believe it's on Roku and stuff. And then August 16th, it's available on Amazon Prime. So, yeah, you guys have plenty of opportunity to watch this. The Baby Oopsie trailer is also on the show notes. So, if you're watching, go check it out because we've also got links to Libbie Higgins, who is our special guest this evening, her Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I think, do I have your YouTube channel? No, because you have a pretty decent following on YouTube too.
Can always use more. Let's be honest,
Yeah, I know. I
because
mean, hit
this
the
is my job
subscribe
now.
button. Hmm. Now, what is the next? Actually, before I even ask that, um, I'm assuming that you guys were still filming while the world was mostly shut down.
It wasn't.
Hmm.
This was just, what was this? The end of May.
Okay.
It was very recent.
Mm-hmm.
And also I quit my job in March. Okay. I had the same job for 22 years, quit my job, went on tour with my friend Chelsea Lynn, went straight from tour to being on set, and then went right back out on tour. So my time is a little confused here. But the clubs and stuff had opened up for me. And on set, everyone was very safe and, had masks and everything when we were working. But it seemed like everything was opening back up at that point.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. So that you didn't have the challenges of because we've spoken to different directors and actors, and um, because of the depending on where you were, also, some people, some of the crew had to go in. They had to tweak the camera just right, leave,
Really, no, we
and
did
then
not have to
everybody
do
would
that.
have. Yeah. So I mean, that would have been insane, and
Oh,
then a tight
wow.
deadline like that would be.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
wild.
good. So that's good. You got to at least interact with everybody
Right.
quite a bit. Um, and then, so what kind of tour were you on, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my friend Chelsea Lynn is a huge social media star and also in real life.
Hmm.
She has a character that's named Trailer Trash Tammy. And she said to me a few years ago, if I ever start doing comedy, you're going to come with me and open for me, and we're going to travel. And that's what we did. She got an RV, we packed up, and we headed out. We did 70 sold out shows.
Wow, pretty impressive.
Incredible for I mean, it's kind of different for women in comedy.
Hmm.
There's different expectations for women in comedy, but for a woman to be selling out those big clubs like that for
Yeah.
6 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row is unbelievable.
So, how do you justify stage fright, Libby, to opening up for your friend?
I have stage fright every night. Both of us do. We're both like, why do we do this?
Oh my
But
gosh.
but the difference now is I'm afraid, but I do it. Whereas
Hmm.
before I was afraid and I wouldn't do it. So I
Mm.
just have to push through it. Once I'm on stage, I'm fine. It's before it's just terrifying. I can't even explain it. It's like I'm going to forget everything I ever knew.
Right. So when you're in front of the stage, do you have something that you kind of, like the Jedi mind trick to get through, or is it when you're up there, does everything kind of disappear except what you need to do?
That's exactly what happens. Before I go on, I do a breathing exercise, the 4-7-8 breathing, which kind of slows my body down. And then as soon as I'm on stage, I somehow switch into this. I just feel powerful when I'm up there. I
Hmm.
kind of trick myself into thinking I'm powerful, and it's muscle memory too. Muscle memory and comedy are so good because sometimes I'll be thinking, how am I even doing these jokes and thinking about doing the jokes, but also thinking like, what's going on over there and what's going on over there. I don't know how I do it, honestly.
Hmm.
I have no idea. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know.
So, if you were to select between like stage work and screen work, would you pick it, or do you want to kind of embrace it all? I mean, have you picked a lane?
I haven't picked. I mean, comedy is my bigger lane now, but
Mhm.
being on the movie set, I was like, man, this is next level awesome. And then to see all the parts come together
Mhm.
and all the people that make it happen, it's magic to me.
Yeah.
When I'm on a stage, it's just me up there. If I mess up, no harm, no foul. But like with a movie, it's just so many people working together. It's magic. That's why they
Mhm.
call it movie magic, I guess.
So, being that you're a comedian, you've been on stage, obviously you're writing your material,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting the work of others and working with that. what is that? What is that like? Are you like, oh, I could do better, or you're like, okay, this is a job. I'm just going to get the job done. As creators, I mean, I'm a writer, and I tend to critique. I can't help it. It's just the hat that
Right.
I'm always wearing. How do you kind of work with the different scripts and things like that? Because you yourself are a writer as well.
I think it is helpful that I have imposter syndrome a lot of the time. So it kind of keeps me chilled out. I haven't done anything where I thought, oh, I could do this better. I just embrace it and look to the experts like William Butler, who wrote the script. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this forever. I would never question him. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was something I was like, oh, that doesn't feel right. But everything that was in Baby Oopsie felt like it was
right.
the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to get fired either. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we weren't talking about you, Billy Butler. We love you. Yeah. So, what did I had another question here, but I kind of lost it. But I did want to shout out a couple of people who are tuning in live. We've got Jester Mikey, thank you. Toku Nerd and more says hey, and Jeff Weber, thank you. Everybody says the trailer for Baby Oopsie looks pretty awesome. When it comes to the physical stuff, like you said, you were taking the bat and you went all in and you're like, "Arr!" And I'm sure that there are buckets of blood. Like I said, I didn't get to see it, and they're probably just splashing it all over the place. Was that fun for you, or was that like, I'm all filthy and dirty and bloody now? I mean, what was that like?
I loved getting all gored up. It was a favorite. And I thought, okay, I'll get all messed up and then we'll be done for the day. Well, you just clean off and then put makeup on for a different scene. Like there's no done after you've been bloodied. And the makeup artist, Greg, went very light on the blood. And then Billy's like, no, we need more. And just like takes a paintbrush and is just flinging it all over me. I loved it. And it helped me act better having the blood on me in a weird way, because then I kind of felt like, oh, I am hurt. I'm really hurt.
Right. Kind of like the wig almost.
Right. Yes. The blood informed me.
So for this time period that you were filming, did you kind of stay in character when you went home at night, or were you able to shut that off?
I definitely shut it off because I was with my co-star who plays Ray Ray. Her name is Justina Armistead. And we stayed in the same hotel. And in real life, she calls me mama. So I'm having to be the caretaker to this grown woman who wants to order DoorDash and go to the Hard Rock place and do all this stuff. And I'm like, honey, I'm just hurt. I need to lay down. So yeah, it was just I left Sybil on set with the wig.
Okay. What genre of movie do you normally watch? I mean, do you like the horror stuff, or did this come as a surprise to you?
This came as a surprise because I don't watch horror movies. They scare me. I don't like a lot of bloody stuff. I don't like to watch stuff get cut and blood squirting. I like to watch a nice documentary or comedy.
Right.
A nice Bo Burnham show on Netflix.
Right. But being on set and the blood's flying and everything,
right.
that was good. That was all good.
I was loving it. And then one of the scenes, they had it was like a pump of blood, and I would cut a body part and they just start pumping blood and it's just spraying all over me. I cut another body part and it's just,
oh my goodness.
It was amazing.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
I wish I could do it all over again right now, honestly.
Yeah, and you know what? Our half an hour flew by really fast. If you don't mind me keeping you for a few more minutes, I just wanted to say that Full Moon Features again has got this premiering, Baby Oopsie, premiering August 6th. That's this Friday. And then it will premiere on Amazon Prime August 16th. And it is at this point in two parts. So the second chapter will follow later on in the month. So make sure that you guys head over to Full Moon Features and hit the subscribe button. He's got really great deals over at Full Moon Features.
And when you sign up now, when you get a subscription, you get like 10 free DVDs. It's like it pays for itself almost.
Yeah, really. You don't lose out on it, definitely. And it's got a lot of different movies there. It's not all horror, some of it's kind of campy and fun and stuff. But yeah, we are sitting here with Libbie Higgins. She plays Sybil Pittman, the bullied and neglected lady who locks herself in the basement and broadcasts about her dolls. I know people who are very creeped out by dolls. They will never see this movie.
Yeah, it's
like clowns are another one.
Yes. When I watched the trailer, I was so happy that the baby doll was not animated when I was acting with it.
Oh,
because it's terrifying. It is horrifying. And she has a filthy mouth too.
Did it surprise you when you got to see it?
The poor thing. I mean, there were several they had different heads for different things, but yeah, a couple times her head fell off mid-scene and just I hope they have some bloopers because there's got to be some good bloopers with this.
Oh, I hope so. Those have got to be fun. Now, did you get to bring a Baby Oopsie home, or was that a no?
I don't need to bring her home. I have her in my heart. She can stay wherever she needs to be. She's terrifying. I'm with you. Like baby dolls that talk and can move their eyes are terrifying.
Yeah. So everybody make sure that you tune in. Libbie, it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much. This is awesome.
I mean, I do have your links, and I'm going to add some more because I missed your YouTube link. And where can people find you? Do you interact with them socially, or are you just kind of?
Oh no, I'm the most active on Instagram. So my Instagram is Libbie Higgins _. I mean, you can find me Libbie Higgins everywhere, but I mean that's where I have the most fun and the most interaction with people. Because you can't have social media if you're not being social on it, I think.
Right. It's in the name.
Some people though, they get too many people follow them and they can't interact.
Well, we are hoping to see much more of you. Have you got scripts in the inbox or on your desk?
No.
Not yet.
Maybe after people see this, they'll send them in. So.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so too.
You did a great job. I'm just like, oh, what's it going to be like sitting with her? Is she going to be like, sadness from inside out?
Like
it was like the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, well, we are out of here, everybody. Libbie, it was a pleasure talking to you. Let me put the card up. We have an outro. You don't have to go away, but the rest of you do. Go home. Go do something. All right, we're out of here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. We are simulcasting to Geek Insider, Indie Vault, and RAGIN AVC. And then also head over to Full Moon Features, subscribe, get your DVDs, and tune in for Baby Oopsie. It premieres this Friday. We're out of here, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is Geek Insider. We're geeking out. At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.